This is another episode of Car Chronicles. Ride along with me into the office. Come on in. Got some things to talk about. We got some things to talk about. Somebody heard our cries. Heard my cries. Come on in. Come on in. Listen. Come on in. Like the video. Double tap the screen. These judges said, listen here, little old man. Listen here, old man. Listen here. Listen here. Come on in. Good morning, Pearl. How are you? Haven't seen you in a little bit. Hope you're well. Listen, these federal judges said, listen here, you doing too damn much, President. The world has gotten whiplash with you and these tariffs. The world has gotten whiplash trying to keep up with these tariff changes. I wonder how he keeping up with them. Because the way he changed his mind when it comes to these tariffs, let me see. The way he changed his mind when it comes to these tariffs, it's just it's not giving stability for our nation. It's giving, sir, you don't know what you want to do at any given time. Listen, Pearl, let me get you caught up. This man, listen, he gonna tell you something on Monday. Don't hold him to that by Thursday. Just because he said it on Monday, child, they ain't got nothing to do with what he about to say on Thursday. The federal government was like, listen, I think they says maybe it was about 12 states that came together that filed like that, pretty much filed a lawsuit. Good morning, Antara. Thank you so much. There was multiple states that kind of filed lawsuits, multiple states across the U.S. I think it was about 12 of them. So multiple like small businesses were also a part of filing lawsuits because they said, listen, you messing with my money. Everybody finna be on the soup line messing around with you, Trump. Everybody gonna be on the soup line needing Section 8 and EBT messing around with you, Trump. With you and these tariffs. Trump is treating tariffs like a damn game of spade. Like a game of spades. You know, and he like, I got two and a possible. Like, that's how Trump is moving out here. How somebody supposed to live with somebody moving like that? This is crazy. Y'all, and this is who the hell I voted for. Like, I'm like, oh, our world effed up. We need change, Trump. Now, what you said, what you can do? Baby, this what his change look like? Listen, my neck, I done got whiplash. He done changed his mind so many times. In the beginning, I'm like, yeah, okay, chairs might be the game changer. But he never stuck to anything. So it just became like, okay, well, it's not given like I thought it would. I'm feeling like a sense of false advertisement. It's not like, but listen, he says for the month of May, we've already saved like $22 billion. When it comes to Donald J. Trump, y'all best go there and fact check. I'm just telling you what he said. He was like, listen, we done made about $22 billion just for May. Just for May, we done made $22 billion. So Three judges, federal judges, did a unanimous vote. Y'all double tap the screen, hit the like button. It's 59 of y'all in here. Just double tap. It helps with the algorithm to circulate the message. So three judges, and one of the judges actually was appointed by him. One was appointed by him, three. And it was a unanimous decision to put a stop to the tariffs. So here's the thing. Let me tell y'all the why. So they like, yo, Trump, like, we see what you're doing. We we respect the hustle. We see that you're wanting to use the tariff as like leverage to try to, get more money coming into the US to, pay down this debt. Like, we see it. We listen, we respect the hustle. But we do have laws in place, and based on these laws that we have, this is out of your jurisdiction. This is in Congress court. Your court is these pardons. Y'all see all these crazy these pardons that's taking place with these celebrities, these criminal sheriffs. Like, they were like, that's your lane. That's your lane. We may not be here for the decisions that you make centered around who you're gonna pardon, but that's your lane. Tariffs, that's Congress lane. They said this has always been the thing. Like, this ain't nothing new. We never even had nobody to challenge it or give it pushback. This is just the way it is. It's checks and balance. Because really, when you think about it, you can't have one person just running everything. You got to have some type of checks and balance. So that kind of makes sense to me. So they're like, yo, when it comes to tariffs, that's going to be Congress. And based off of the law, you can't use tariffs as like a leverage to try to get other nations, other countries to do what you want to do. Like, this is not how it works. Tariffs are in place for things concerning just goods. Not, oh, okay, y'all drugs come into our country, so if you don't handle that, I'ma slap 20% more in addition on tariffs. They're like, no, that's not how the tariffs work. It's not supposed to be used that way. We respect the hustle. But this isn't like how it works. You see what I'm saying? This isn't how it works. We see what you're trying to do. We see how you're trying to get the debt down, you say, and you're trying to use the tariffs as a means of doing it. But based off of the law that we have in place in the USA, we can't do it that way. We got to go back to the lab and come up with another way to get this debt down. But through the use of tariffs, with how you using them, that ain't gonna be it, sir. That's not gonna be it. So what's going to be interesting is, so y'all know Trump had this vision of bringing back the manufacturing jobs and things, and him using the tariff situation as like leverage. There are these, y'all think these companies who said they gonna come over gonna still come over? I've been reporting about this since like February. So you had like automakers, tech companies, like all kinds of companies who were like, yo, like, we're going to set up shop. We're going to do this in the USA, even though it's going to cost more money. But to save on the tariffs, we're going to do what you want us to do because we need to save some coinage. Well, now with the federal courts snatching that away, do you all think that these companies who said they would do business with us will still do business with us? I don't know. I'm just thinking, because it's like a lot of these companies, they were like strong armed into doing business over here in the US. Like, it's not really like necessarily what they wanted. They were they were motivated to do it by the savings. They didn't want the tariffs. They did not want the tariffs. So they were like, all right, then bet. We're going to come over. We're going to set up shop. All right. Well, now since the courts have come in and said, no, no, no. Now, here's the thing. And The federal judges have come and ruled against it. So you still have the Supreme Court. I would imagine next we'll hear about the Trump administration saying that they're going to raise it to the Supreme Court, because that's normally what happens when he is rejected. He raises it to the Supreme Court. And so that can be expected next. So I would imagine today the Trump administration will speak on this, because this came out like late, like last night, right around that time when the headlines hit that Elon Musk said, "God damn it, I quit." I know I said I was staying to May, but listen, I'm leaving 48 hours earlier. I can't do this no more. Because I'm like, okay, they talking about he quit. Didn't he put in his 30 days notice last month? But apparently, I think his contract had him to only be able to do DOGE for like 130 days, because he wasn't like an elected official. So he had like this little contract, and the contract was like only for 130 days. So the 130 days would have ended either, they said, like Friday, which is tomorrow, or Saturday, depending on what date it took effect. Like, did it start January 20th? Like, when did this 130 days start? So nonetheless, I guess he bowed out 2 to 3 days early. Because in my mind, when I seen he left, I'm like, well, hell, he said he was leaving anyway. What are we talking about? I never heard him give like a date, like, yo, I'm leaving on this day. He just said like in May. So him leaving kind of wasn't a surprise to me. I think the part for me when it comes to Elon is probably the last remarks that he's on record as to making, as it pertains to this big beautiful bill act. Elon Musk, Mr. Musk, he's not here for the big beautiful bill act. He says it undermines everything that DOGE did. He like, what the hell was I here for? What was I doing these last 128 days, 27 days? Like, for you to carve back in this excessive spending, which they estimate to be like about $3 trillion. So they say with the Big Beautiful Bill Act, as it is right now, over the course of how many years they said? They might have said over the course of 4 years, it'll add like 3 trillion. I mean, not three. It'll add like $10 trillion to our deficit. Y'all, that's not taking us into the right direction. We need to be going the other way. We need to be going south, not north. So it's like, okay, this bill, it's kind of adding to the deficit versus decreasing. And so Elon was like pissed. He was like, okay, this is counterproductive. My damn business then went to the pits of hell. I'm working, trying to save, trying to find a few dollars here and there to save the American people money. And you just then went and found a new way to spend it that ain't got nothing to do with the American people. Listen, this is Elon's sentiments. Elon said, "This some bull. What we doing? Listen. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm bailing out. I know I got probably about 2 more days in this little situation, but I'm just gonna go ahead and bail out now. Ain't nothing for you, because clearly what I'm doing, it don't matter anyway. You gonna do what you want to do. You gonna do what you want to do. We talked about this, Trump. We talked about this. Y'all think Elon got pissed off when he learned that Trump trying to spend about $45 million on his birthday party come June 14th? How many of y'all going to Trump birthday party on June 14th in DC? So June 14th marked the 250th anniversary for like the U.S. Army. So there's gonna be like this big parade. It happens to be on Trump's birthday, June 14th. So Trump like, yo, we finna make this a whole little litty situation. Trump said, listen, this finna be bigger than the World Cup and the Olympics. Yes, that's what that man said. Go big or go home. He is turning 79. It ain't no milestone. You ain't 80. He turning 79. And he was like, listen, we about to do it up. I promise you it is going to be bigger than the World Cup and the Olympics. I read that it's about going to be about $45 million as far as the amount of money that it's going to cost. That y'all know, somebody be like, who the hell funding this? You are. You American taxpayer, you are. Y'all gotta be crazy. Y'all think it's coming out of his pocket. No, it's not. It is not. It's gonna add to that little debt that we got going on. Trump, like, hell, we got the debt in the trillions anyway. So throwing a little extra 45 million on it ain't finna make no difference. Yes, y'all, this man finna have a birthday party, and you can go. You can go for free. Go online. You can register to get tickets. It's going to be in DC. You can register to get tickets if you want to be in attendance to the parade, which is also his birthday party. He's turning 79, and he's doing it up. He is doing it big in DC this year. June 14th falls on a Saturday when I looked it up. I just left DC during spring break. So, yeah, it's going down in DC. Who else was that? Janine Pirro. She got sworn in yesterday for the, what is she? Is she like the AG over DC? She got some new position dealing with just getting stuff right in DC. I guess getting a crime, getting all that together. You know, she's an attorney by trade. So she got sworn in into a position that's going to have her to just get things kind of back in order in DC, because apparently things are out of control in DC when it comes to crime and things like that. So Janine Pirro, she's out of New York. She will be taking on a new position. Can't remember the exact title of her position. Somebody, if you know, you can add it in the comments. But she was sworn in. I did see her standing next to him yesterday when they asked him about his thoughts about Elon not being happy about his Big Beautiful Bill Act. He said he was disappointed. So they did ask President Trump his thoughts about that comment. I found his response to be kind of interesting, because earlier yesterday when I did a live, I'm like, I can't wait to hear how Trump is going to respond to Elon's sentiments about not being happy with what he's doing, his performances. Y'all know Trump don't like you going against. He gonna talk about your mama, your dad. He gonna talk about everybody. if he catch wind that you just said anything greasy about him. So I'm like, Lord Jesus. Musk on record talking about not being happy with this Big Beautiful Bill Act. Lord, what is he gonna say? What is Caroline? Listen, I was looking forward to the next press conference, because I'm like, what are they about to say? So yesterday, Trump, while he was talking his talk, one of the reporters was like, yo, like, Trump, like, how do you feel about Elon Musk saying that he is disappointed in the Big Beautiful Bill Act? And he didn't address Elon's comment directly head on. I took notice. He just went on to just talk about why it was important to him to have the Big Beautiful Bill Act, and the fact how it's gotten approved this far, and how he's really hopeful that it's going to pass and get approved by Senate, because it's something that can really benefit the people and all of that. But he didn't address it from the angle of Elon's sentiments, like acknowledging Elon's monkey juice, that she's a judge. Thank you so much. She started out as an attorney, and then she ended up, I guess, going into a judge or something like that. But she's been around for a long time. Janine Shapiro's in her 70s. When I was researching, she's in her 70s. She was once married to an attorney as well. But she has an extensive background in just law when it comes to just being a lawyer. As you said, she went on to be a judge. But Trump did not address directly Elon and the comment he made, given that they were like ones what not too long ago, this dynamic duo. So I found that interesting that he didn't make a comment specifically kind of targeting like Elon. And I just think that he didn't because he's playing it safe. Insiders are saying that, he's not feeling Elon right now with, with him making the comments that he's made with not being happy about the Big Beautiful Bill Act. But I think Trump know better to not really try to go on record to say anything greasy really about Elon, because Elon knows all the inside information. And many people, including myself, have predicted and talked about there one day being a fallout between the two men. And the day that comes, y'all know Elon got his whole little X. He can get out and pop his, talk his talk on his own platform, just like Trump has his own platform. So I think that Trump is going to kind of be easy when it comes to Elon and what he says, because he knows that Elon knows private, secret, like information that Trump would not want people to know. Y'all know when they say the person know where all the bodies are buried. Like, think about Elon being like that. Like, y'all, like Elon and his son was staying with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Like, Elon know. Like, early on when they started working together, I'm like, if things were to go left with them, Elon gonna be like that damn angry girlfriend that's pissed off because you told her to damn get her stuff and get the hell on, and he just gonna tell all the business for free. That's the type of energy that Elon gave. So he's not really the one that you want to kind of piss off like that. You want to kind of let them quietly go. He that type you want to have him to think that he the one ended the relationship. That's what Elon gave. Like, you gotta like make, it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. And I think that Trump is treading lightly when it comes to Elon, is because he know Elon can kind of get in his feelings, and it's just like, all right, well, let's just let Elon have a moment. He done lost a lot of money with his businesses, effing around with this DOGE stuff. He already on edge, so we just gonna let Elon be Elon and do what he need to do to work through whatever. And I think that that's kind of where Trump is. He's like, he's playing it smart. I think he's playing it smart. So Elon's like, listen, big and beautiful, you can have one or the other, but to have them both, he was like, mm-mm. So he doesn't think that the bill is both big and beautiful. He was like, it's I guess he sees wasteful spending in the bill, which, I mean, a lot of people feel that way. It's the Supreme Court, no, the Senate is left to vote on it. They could have the vote wrapped up as early as around 4th of July. But many do not see that that's likely to probably happen by then, that early, because a lot of even Republicans aren't really happy with the way the bill is written. They're like, there's a lot of like spending and things in this bill. The debt, remember that it's already saying that like already it's $3 trillion that it's going to have us in a further deficit. And then over time, it can end up being an additional, by the time the bill, I guess everything expires, it can end up being an additional like a total of $10 trillion added to the debt. That's not what we want, right? We're trying to reduce the debt. That's the goal, to reduce the debt. Trump's plan was, hey, with these tariffs, it will help to reduce the debt. But many are saying, hell, remember May, he reported saying there was a $22 billion savings just with the tariffs, as far as with, let me just say that, not savings, earnings, the amounts that the U.S. made as a result of tariffs. They're like, hell, for it to even make a difference really with our, it's not really even making a dent like that on that type of level when it comes to our debt because it's so crazy high. Like somebody was saying even with just the interest alone, or they said what that 22 billion would have to be multiplied by 6 times just to even deal with just the interest centered around the debt. Some crazy number. So we are definitely in a deep, deep hole when it comes to this debt. I actually don't even see how we'll even pay it down. Like, not pay it where it'll significantly have it. Where it, I do not see. I can't think of anything that will have us to significantly reduce our debt. That bad boy just gonna need to be just wiped out. Listen, somebody just gonna need to go in with an eraser, because otherwise, like, really, like, what can we do to pay down a debt that's already $33 trillion? And this is pre the Big Beautiful Bill Act. Like, really think about it. How is it even possible realistically? Because as we have to pay this debt down, we're also still continuing to spend money. So it's almost like you going in like a circle. You're not making any difference anywhere, because the money you're saving, you're finding you're spending it. So how do you really save? You literally would have to stop spending altogether and then just be focused on the savings and applying monies towards the debt. But no spending, meaning the benefits, the aid that goes out to people through the program, like, that ain't realistic. So what we doing, y'all? We gonna spend the rest of our lives talking about the goddamn debt. I think it was Giuliani in New York. I think that's who I heard talking this morning. He said debt is inevitable. He said the American debt for the U.S. is like the American pie. Like, it's just gonna be a thing. It's like it's not going anywhere. So it is what it is. So we need to not be losing any sleep over it, being worried about greatly reducing. Like, he was like, listen, it is what it is. And I see what he's saying, because it's like, how else does it just disappear unless somebody coming in and just erasing it? Like, what, somebody just go into the factory and print more money and say, here you go, all this goes towards the debt? Like, really, how does the debt just go away? We've been talking about the debt all my life, all my 44 years. So clearly, my thought process is in line with basically the way life has been playing out, because the debt has continued to increase as we've changed leaders. Like, we might have sometimes under different administrations where it has kind of dropped some. But y'all, when have we not been in the trillions? When have we not been in the trillions? When have we not been in the trillions? It's there. This is a bill that we have. Just like many of us who got the student loan bill, that is a bill that we just gonna have. It is just gonna be there. It's just like where you come to this understanding of, like, well, it's just a bill that I got. Like, what? Like, I don't think about, okay, well, because like, realistically, it's not feasible for you to kind of get rid of that bill, that debt like that, unless just something just miraculous happening. But otherwise, you're like, hey, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. And we keep it pushing. Clearly, Trump mindset is that hell, he about to spend $45 million on his birthday. But you're invited. You can go online and register, get you some tickets to attend Trump's birthday party. It will be in DC. It's free. June 14th, 2025. It's a Saturday. So if you want to make your way to DC to participate in the parade that is celebrating 250 years of the U.S., I believe it's the U.S. Army. So they're just going to combine that with Trump's birthday party. And Trump said it's going to be a whole situation. He said the World Cup And the Olympics ain't gonna have nothing on his birthday party. Y'all, that's what he said. Go on out there and look it up. It's out there. June 14th. He turned 79 years old. He doing it big. He doing his big one. He is doing his big one. Go big or go home. That's the thing. That's what I'm calling it. Go big or go home. So now that he's learned the news centered around these tariffs, I wonder what his mood gonna be going into his birthday, because this isn't good news to him for these tariffs to be stopped. It's not favorable. It's not a win for him. But like I say, my expectation is that he's going to raise it to the Supreme Court, and who knows how long it'll take for them to rule on it. They can rule and say, okay, Trump, you can proceed with doing what you're doing, or they can kick it back down to the federal judges and say, Trump, our ruling is in a line with the federal judges, so you have to do whatever it is, follow their ruling, which he has been told that before. So I'm expecting probably sometime today somebody from the Trump administration to be speaking about the tariff situation, because remember, he just extended the tariffs with the 50% tariffs. He was supposed to, EU was supposed to be hit with those effective June. So that would be what, next week? Then he's like, all right, we had a phone call. He had a phone call with whoever. And he was like, as a result of that phone call, the agreement is, hey, we're going to delay it for another month, kick it into July. But now with this situation, with this ruling where the federal judges are saying, hey, you cannot do this, then like, how does this impact his leveraging for him to get things done the way he wants them done? Because a lot of people are only doing certain things because of the tariffs. They would literally be up there on camera with him when he would be talking, and they would be like, yeah, I'm bringing my business over here because I want to save. I don't want to pay the extra 25%. Like these people are like saying this. Like it wasn't rooted in really much anything else with them coming over here and wanting to set up shop. It was rooted in them trying to save a coin. So they felt like, well, I got to do what I got to do. But now the judge have ruled that, hey, Trump can't do this. It just remains to be seen if these businesses will still follow through and come over here, because it is more expensive for companies to operate here in the US opposed to anywhere else, which is why a lot of people do business with other countries, because it's just the operational costs are higher when you're doing it in the US. I mean, everything, is more expensive. You got to pay higher wages. It's just, from a logical standpoint, it makes sense why people choose to set up shop or whatever in other countries, pay workers or labor in other countries. Like, it makes sense because it saves money. But at the same time, I understand, what Trump was wanting to do with keeping jobs here, bringing jobs to the US. So that's the thing. Like, I was understanding that. But it just got to be too much when he started just doing all these just gymnastics when it came to tariffs, not sticking to anything, backing out. All right, 30 days. Okay, 90. And it's just like, what are we doing? Like, it just wasn't giving stability. And a lot of people who are business owners, they're like, we can't function. Our companies can't operate in this manner when we don't know at any given time how much the cost of our expenses are going to be. Like, because with these tariffs, that's taxed onto them. So if they're doing business with somebody outside in another country, let's say China, and they have to get whatever from China, that the American business, they're the ones who have to pay the tariff on whatever it is they're getting from China, which right now is like 30%. But if this number is constantly changing, how do you properly like budget for like these tariffs if it's constantly changing? Like, how do you set out and map out your your plan? You can't plan around you can't you can't plan around that with constant changes with the tariffs like that. You just can't. You can't plan around that. And that became a problem for a lot of businesses, which is why a lot of small businesses got together and they filed joint lawsuits against Trump. Yeah, the businesses, what they say, their strength in numbers. Small businesses came together and they was like, listen, this isn't working. This isn't working for me. I can't keep my business going like this. And the federal judge just was like, yo, like this can't be done. Like, this is out of his jurisdiction, which a lot of people had been saying anyway when he was doing it. I was hearing people say that he can't do it. He can't do it. And the federal judges have come back and said, you are correct. Trump cannot do this. This is Congress domain. Congress is the only one who can be making these type of changes when it comes to tariffs, not the president. The president can do pardons. The Congress cannot do pardons. The president can do federal pardons. Congress cannot do pardons, but Congress can impact and adjust the tariffs, checks and balances. One person can't do it all. You got to have checks and balances. And to me, it makes sense. It makes sense to have checks and balances. So this is where we are today. As of right now, these tariffs, all of that has stopped. The question have come up as to, well, what about the people who have already paid these excess, these tariffs and things that Trump had implemented? Will people be able to be getting money back and all of that? I don't know. I don't know if this is a thing of, okay, going forward, no more tariffs, or if they would be trying to implement something. Good morning. What's up, Riza? Implement something that would retro act. I don't know. I haven't heard that part. I haven't read anything talking about the tariffs and things that have already been implemented and the monies and everything from it. So to me, it would make sense as it like, let's just pick up going forward. We're going to stop these tariffs as far as with the changes or the way he has them operating. So I don't know if like with this ruling, if it's saying, hey, we're going back to the way it was, like, so say whatever the tariff situation was when Trump took office, if they're like, hey, we're going back there because you shouldn't have been messing with them, that's Congress. That part that I read wasn't really spelled out, but I didn't also do like a real deep dive. It was just information that I quickly learned before I went live. So who knows how deep it's going to go, but I do not expect for Trump to just accept this ruling. I expect for him to, to raise it up to a higher court, which he has the right, to do. But in the meantime, Elon said, well, I'm you on your own because I ain't playing no parts in whatever you trying to do. I'm gone. It's been real, deuces. Elon sent his deuces email. Like, he did it like last night, probably like not long after I ended my live. So it was about like 8:31 or something like that he posted. He did his post on X, and basically it was like, listen, it's been real. He thanked President Trump for everything. He said he had faith that, because of DOGE, our nation is going to be going in the right direction and all that. So he said nice things. I don't see, anything for anybody, Trump or anybody to catch an attitude with. It was like a nice little message, like kind of like I wish you the best type message. But Elon did, put on record when he did speak with someone, not sure what news outlet he was talking to when he expressed his sentiments around the Big Beautiful Bill Act. But he did say that he was disappointed. He looked disappointed. I saw it yesterday. He looked very disappointed. To me, y'all, he looked more disappointed than he did when his cars and stuff was getting messed up, because he was looking like he was down bad when, the brand was taking a hit, people cars was getting vandalized and all of that. To me, the look that Elon has is more of like, I know you effing lying. You know that look somebody have on their face, like, I know you effing lying. That's the look that Elon to me had when I saw him when he talked about the Big Beautiful Bill Act, because I feel like he believes that it has him to feel like what he was doing was like a waste of time. It has him to feel like, okay, the time he took away from his job, it was a waste. The impact to his brand, the impact to his his bottom line, all of that, all of that. What was all that for? What was all that for? So to me, that the look that he had, that's kind of what I got from it. It's just like, he's like, now, why was I here doing this? Or why were you not somebody like telling you one thing and then you see that they actions is doing something different. So you kind of confused, like, what we doing? Are you just playing with in my face? Like, what are we doing? That's the kind of look that Elon to me had as he talked about the Big Beautiful Bill Act. Because it just, it looked as though he didn't feel like it made sense. It didn't make sense. He said it was like counterproductive. It goes against what DOGE is doing. It's like, okay, we done found savings. Instead of say putting in savings and say cut the check to the American people, you trying to shift it in areas that it don't need to be shifted. Hell, I done told y'all he got a big birthday party coming up. And what I've read is it estimated that the expense is going to be about $45 million to put this big event on. It's a combination of his birthday party and a parade for the military in celebration of the 250-year anniversary. It's going to be huge, June 14th, 2025. So I doubt Trump is using his own money to put on this extravagant event. I doubt it. I'm going to say that he's going to go ahead and go and dip into the petty cash, meaning the taxpayer money, and get out what he needs to get out to put on this extravagant event. Because he did say, it's on record, it will be bigger than the Olympics and the World Cup. Go big or go home. He turning 79. He like, listen, you only turn 79 once. He's turning 79, and this is how he plans to do it up. So to me, the way I'm thinking, that money that's just going to increase the debt, because I do not see him paying for this out of his pocket. I do not. I do not see him paying for this out of his pocket at all. It's definitely going to be coming out of the petty cash, the budget. I mean, the taxpayer money is coming out of that. But he said you can come. Hell, you paid for it. Don't think you're going to get you a meal now. But you could come and see it for yourself. It's free. You can go online and get tickets to register. I'm curious to see how many people are going to turn out for it. But it's likely he may have like a lot of people from other countries, other nations and things that may come through. Maybe he'd be blessed with another extravagant gift. I don't know how you can go bigger than almost a $500 million plane, but maybe somebody gonna come through and try to top that what Qatar did when they gave him that big beautiful plane that They claim that was donated to what the Department of Homeland Security, but though he's saying when he leave office, he taking it with him and it's going in the museum. Like, wait a minute, how you taking it with you if it ain't yours? So that y'all, that's his plane. That's his plane, and taxpayer money is paying for it to be inspected and all of that. Because from what I've learned, is that the plane has to be kind of taken apart and inspected to make sure everything's good and stuff, make sure it's safe. That's going to cost a lot of money, right? And guess who's paying for that? Y'all think Trump finna pay for that? No, he is not finna pay for that. Trump said he got money he need to leave for his kids and his grandkids. He's trying to build generational wealth, so he will not be paying for that either. Trump just said, hey, rule of thumb, anything that's going to cost money, no, he ain't paying for it. If it costs money, like, just already have the understanding in your mind that it ain't coming out of my personal bank account. Just know that anytime. If you got to question it, that means he ain't paying for it. He is not paying for it. He all about making money, but he ain't paying for it. They said, like, one of the people who got pardoned, because he's pardoning, like, you all, a lot of people. On my live yesterday evening, I went to a website, and he pardoned more people so far than Biden did, like, the first year he pardoned people in 2022. But there was one guy who got pardoned. His mama came to that. You remember Trump had that little dinner that you could for the big spender, for people who bought the coin, the Bitcoin, whatever. So the $1 million, the people who spent like $1 million, they got to come to like this dinner. So there's this one guy, his mother, she had came up with her little $1 million, whatever, raised it. And she went to the dinner, and I guess she pulled Trump to the side, like, let me holler at you. And she told him, like, let me tell you about my baby, what's going on with him. He locked up. I need him to come home. Trump made it happen. Can't think of his name right now because it was a long list. I learned it yesterday evening. But the guy, the lady's son, he had went to jail for stealing money from like the senior home. So monies, I think that was supposed to be going to like taxes and things like that. Child, he done went and bought him a $2 million yacht. I don't know where the hell he thought he was going. He had bought him a $2 million yacht. That's where them old folks money, them old folks money, that's where that money went. And he out there damn just selling, living his best life like he damn Diddy at the all white party, just selling away. So they sold his ass on to the feds. So he got locked up. So mama been out here trying to, holler and talk to anybody she can that will hear her cries in regards to her son being locked up and how he needs to come home. So she managed to get Trump's ear, and her son has been pardoned. But last night, y'all hear? I heard that he pardoned the rapper NBA YoungBoy, and he pardoned Larry Hoover. Y'all only know who Larry Hoover is because of Rick Ross. Big Meech, Larry Hoover, from his rap. Big Meech already home, so he already came home last year. Now Larry Hoover. I wonder if they're gonna do a collaboration. Big Meech, Larry Hoover, Rick Ross. Cause I promise you, I only know Larry Hoover from Rick Ross lyrics. Otherwise, listen, Larry Hoover, I think he's in his 70s now. He was out of, I think, Chicago, a big time gang leader. So Trump has pardoned him. Both black man, NBA YoungBoy, another young black man. NBA YoungBoy is very young. I don't even know what NBA YoungBoy was even locked up for, because I remember he got into trouble, but the last I remember he was on house arrest. So he was gone somewhere. So he coming home. But it's a lot of people that Trump has pardoned. The ones we mostly have heard about has been like the big name, like the celebrities, the Chrisleys, Todd and Julie Chrisley. Todd should have been probably released yesterday. The last I left off yesterday evening, Savannah, his daughter, was waiting for him to come out. So I didn't watch any coverage later in the evening to see, what time he came out. But I listened to her talk to reporters and things as she was waiting for him to be released. She said she had been outside waiting for him since like 2 in the morning. And the reporter also asked her if her parents, if they will be doing another show. Because remember, they were known for being on television. They had a popular reality show. I think it was called the Chrisleys Knows Best. She was basically like, absolutely. She's like, we already have a deal, a documentary that's going to be coming out. So I'm like, that's what I said. I'm like, when her parents come out, Todd and Julie Chrisley come out, they're going to immediately come out, get into the money, because they are going, first of all, they were celebrities. People, they had a big following going into prison. They had a really popular show, lived a lavish lifestyle. And I felt like, them coming home, people would still be intrigued to know what's going on with their life, to hear them talk about the experience. Listen, like, I could, it made sense to me that they would be going back onto television. So she's like, yeah, we already have a deal going on. We have a documentary. So I'm pretty sure she had her cameras and stuff out there, because she said she'd been out there since 2 in the morning. But the Chrisleys are about to get to it. They're about to get to the money. I said they're going to probably mess around and make more money than they did before they got locked up, but be able to make it the legitimate way, because they went to jail on some tax evasion type, like they wasn't getting money the legal legitimate way. But I feel like with their story, with everything, um they're going to be able to make money, a lot of money, like legally, which they should have been doing in the first place. But this time around, they're going to easily be able to make money, because so many people are going to want to hear their story, to understand like what happened, how'd you get here, whatever. And they're going to have every right to tell their story. And I'm pretty sure that deal that they have with whoever's going to do their documentary, I'm pretty sure it's a 7-figure deal. I'm sure it's a 7-figure deal. All of them, the whole family is going to eat off of that deal. That's a promise. What they say,